Alright, part 4. I'm just back to back today. I gotta make up since, it was a year ago when I made part 1. So here's part 4. But yeah, like I said, there was I had anointed oil on my door. And, people was like, hey, you say it never came in, nothing ever really happened. Maybe that blue light was an angel, or maybe the red light was the negative trying to make its way in, but something wasn't allowing it. Who knows when you're dealing with the spiritual? Who knows? All I know is that intrigued me. And that night, I got in my car. I kid y'all not. This was that night. I got in my car. Like I said, that happened in the day. It happened in the daytime, early that morning. This was at night. I got in my car, and I was still thinking about it. And I was headed to maybe Walmart or something like that. I'm not sure, but this might not even mean nothing to y'all, but it meant something to me, and that's all it has. That's all that matters. It meant something to me. There's a car light, right? There's a car light, and the car light had some kind of red lights that was shining or whatever, like a red light that they never have on. Like, this is the first night they had these lights on. I didn't even notice them, but there was a red light shining, and then at the top of the building was this huge blue light that was shining. And when I saw it, it tripped me out, because I'm like, are you kidding me? The way I received that, the blue light was bigger than the red light. That's how I received that. So the way I received it, even though that bluish white light that was shining through my vent, even though it could only come through a small space, and that red light traced my whole door, I received that, like, whatever that blue light was, it was bigger than the red light. So it had more authority than the red light. So that's just how I received it. It might not have meant that at all. Who knows? But that's how I received it, and that's what gave me comfort. But needless to say, since that day, this was like, all of this happened like maybe 2+ years ago. Since that day, since that last negative experience, since I anointed my house and all that, did all that, that ain't never happened to me again since. I ain't had no terrifying sleep paralysis experience since then. Alright? Since then. None. And I have had, sleep paralysis, vaguely, where I wake up and I couldn't move. But since then, I have had not one negative experience where a unclean entity, and I don't know why I'm trying to baby people, where a demonic spirit came into my room. It ain't happened since then. So hey, y'all can try all y'all techniques, but I'm trying to tell y'all what worked for me and how I got rid of that. You know what I'm saying? How I got rid of that. And what better to get rid of darkness than light? Light shines over darkness on any day. Okay, so what better to use than light? So that's what worked with me. Alright? And I'm gonna share some of my other experiences with y'all since I got a little bit of time. Apart from sleep paralysis, like I said, I got intrigued by spiritual things, so I started meditating. I started working with meditation, just trying to dig. And I've had experiences that were not sleep paralysis experiences, but still spiritual experiences. Like, I know one time, I swear I had an out-of-body experience. This experience actually wasn't self-induced. This was another one of those involuntary experiences where it's like I woke up or whatever. Or basically, I don't know, it seems like I was doing something, shaving or something in the mirror, and I heard a voice. It said something. No, I heard a beeping sound. And when I heard that beeping sound, I started looking around like, what is this? Next thing I know, I started moving out of the bathroom where I was shaving at, and I started floating through my room, or through my hallway. And then I floated through the living room, and I could actually I was looking down. I could see my dog toys on the floor and all of that. Then I floated on into my room, and then I floated into my bed. I never saw my body though, but I floated into my bed. And when I floated into my bed, it's like I woke up and I was in paralysis. I was paralyzed or whatever, and I shook that off. That was a weird experience. But as far as meditation, I've reached what people call the vibrational stage, where your whole body starts vibrating. That happened to me twice. And the first time it happened, it was self-induced. But the second time it happened, it was involuntary. The first time, it was during the day. I was just meditating. And I had actually gave up on the meditation because it seemed like it wasn't getting nowhere. So I was just laying there for a little while. Next thing I know, the vibration comes, and this was my first time experiencing it. It's a good feeling. Like if you ever felt it, it's a good feeling. It's a warm feeling. You know, it's a vibration. But while I was vibrating, I was hearing something auditory. It was chatter. I don't know. It was voices. Something was talking. It was like a male voice, you know, and it sounded like it was a frequency, like it was coming through the radio. But I ain't had nothing on in my house. No TV, no radio, no nothing. But I'm hearing this loudly talking. And the whole time I was feeling a pulling sensation, you know, like coming from my head area. You know, I know people talk about the third eye, they talk about the crown chakra and all of that. I was feeling this pulling sensation, and it was pulling like in this area, like, you know, it was pulling and chatter, pulling, vibration, chatter, pulling, vibration. After a while, it tripped me out, and it wasn't sleep paralysis. I could move at any time if I felt like it. You know, all I had to do was just move if I felt like it. So after a while, I moved because I felt like it, and it all ended. Like the chatter ended, the vibration, all of it left. As soon as I moved, it all left. You know, that was the first time I dealt with the vibration. The second time was involuntary. And it was, to somebody, it would have been a scary experience. I don't know. But on the second time, I woke up. It was night. It was dark. You know, it could have been around 2, 3 in the morning. I wasn't paralyzed. I could have moved at any time, but it was the vibration. I felt it top to bottom just like before, so I knew what it was. I was familiar with it, right? And in the midst of the darkness of the room, some kind of light started flashing. I don't know what the light was. It looked like police lights, though. I know somebody out there didn't experience this before. It was a flashing light. The colors were like a red, a blue, and an ugly purple. Like an ugly purple. And the light was flashing, right? And on my wall, there was the shadow. And I don't care who don't believe me. I'm just telling y'all what I experienced, alright? On my wall, there was a shadow of a freaking spider. It looked like the Spider-Man symbol. It was huge, alright? And it was twiddling. It wasn't crawling around. It was in one space. It was stationary. And it was twiddling like that. Just twiddling like a giant shadow. Like something was purposely trying to terrify the crap out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like something was saying, hey, you gonna be scared tonight. It was twiddling. But I was never afraid at all. I'm just looking at this like, what in the world? Who making shadow puppets on my wall? Because it was twiddling like a giant spider. And there were also 2 transparent things that was just hanging in midair. I don't know what that was. I can't even begin to try to describe the shape that it was taking. I don't know what it was. Alright, but it was 2 of them, and they were you know, they were just hanging there in midair, transparent. So you got flashing lights, twiddling shadow of a spider, and 2 transparent things just hanging there in midair. That's enough for me to move and end this experience. So I moved purposely. I moved, and it all ended. You know, that was weird. That's just something that's to write down. You know, I experienced a lot. That was just something that's to write down. Now, the most recent experience I had with meditation, this was like 3 weeks ago. This is the most recent, and it's weird enough for me to tell y'all about it. I was doing third eye meditation. I know somebody know what that is, where you're just focusing on your third eye, and you know it'll turn into it might turn into a star or something. It'll start spinning and then whoosh, and when it go whoosh, that's when you like in some other kind of state. I don't know. Well, it went whoosh with me. Alright, so I'm in another kind of state. And in this state, I'd been there before, you know, but in this state, something happened that had never happened before. My right eye opened. Because I was doing, like, when I meditate, I keep my eyes closed. My right eye opened. It opened on its own. It was an involuntary movement. You understand what I'm telling you? My right eye opened on its own. Alright? And when it opened, everything in my room, it looked wavy. Like, and I had the light on. I didn't even have the light off. The light was already on. But everything looked wavy. Like I was underwater or something crazy like that. You know, it was all wavy. And I was like, is this really seriously happening? And even the gas inside my body was reacting to it. The gas was like bubbles. It was like bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Like I was underwater. It was tripping me out. Next thing that happened, and this is the part that really, you know, took me there. Something. If you ever heard of an orb, if you know what an orb is supposed to be a spirit that's moving around, right? A freaking orb came in my room. I don't care who believed. This wasn't no sleep paralysis. This was meditation, son. This was meditation. I reached some kind of level. Like I said, some people call it the fourth dimension. I was seeing some stuff. A orb floated into my room. And it took the shape of an individual. And this cat was huge, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like massive. Like if he hit you, that's a KO automatically. This cat was big. I'm talking about it was huge. I got a 42-inch TV in my room, alright? When this cat stood in front of my TV, I couldn't even see the TV. The whole time I'm just sitting there. I'm still in my meditative state, you know. You gotta stay calm. So I'm still in my meditative state. Left eye closed, right eye open involuntarily, alright? And I'm looking at this cat. He had no facial features, no nothing. It was just a silhouette of a male, or I don't know what it was. It was just a silhouette of a freaking, what's that cat name? Thing from from Fantastic Four. This cat was big, man. It was a silhouette of the Incredible Hulk. This cat was huge, but it looked like it was made out of a misty, smoky light type thing. I don't know what it was made out of. But it looked like if you tried to touch it, your hand would have went straight through it. That's what it looked like it was made out of. And like I said, it came in the form of an orb. And it just took shape and started walking around my room. You know, just walking around my room. Walked in front of my TV. Came real close to my face, then it fell back. And naturally, like when I deal with spirits or something like that, I keep God coming out my mouth. I was just talking to God the whole time. Because you never know the intentions of a spirit. You don't know the intentions. So, you know, and that was the most recent experience. I'm out of time.